Dear Professor Staiano, I am a computing undergraduate applicant this year. I'm really passionate about studying computing at university, and I have worked extremely hard for the past year for the admissions process. Would you be willing to help me with interview preparation? I would be happy to pay you £300 per hour. I believe with your professional expertise and experience, I would be able to get the best practice to improve my abilities.
My first thought when I got this email was, wow, some candidates will do anything to get in. I felt a bit annoyed because I don't think it's fair for kids with rich parents to get specialized training for admissions interviews in order to overtake the poorer kids who can't afford a personal tutor. So I was about to respond in those terms. But then I also asked myself, is it really unethical to seek private tuition? Is it unethical to be willing to pay in order to learn from the best? If someone is really determined to become an Olympic athlete, shouldn't they look for the best possible coach? Isn't it even a good thing that they're prepared to pay the elite coach as an investment in themselves? I'd be really interested if you stop the video now and entered your viewpoint in a comment. Do you view this request as unethical or as perfectly justified and legitimate? And note that she specifically said she wasn't applying to Cambridge to eliminate one possible conflict of interest for me. Okay, so write down your thoughts if you would, and then restart the video. As for me, on reflection, I genuinely appreciate the attitude of wanting to train with the best. And I do that myself. After my Kendo master had to quit for medical reasons, I spent many years looking for a new master. And finally, I had the good fortune of being accepted as the student of a Hanshi Hachidan Grandmaster, the highest rank that exists in Kendo nowadays. And he is the sensei that the 7th Dan strive to learn from when they aim to become 8th Dan, all of which is well above my modest 5th Dan level. And I invest time, money, and physical effort to train with him in Tokyo. And so that part of the request I received, seeking tuition from a competent mentor, I actually consider legitimate and a good thing. And if someone wanted private tuition from me to learn computer science or cybersecurity or how to write a paper or how to do research or how to give a compelling presentation in front of an audience or how to become a full professor in a world-class university or any of the things I have a wealth of experience in, I'd actually be happy to help. As an aside, my hourly rate is not £300. It's actually well into the 4 digits, but that's the kind of money I usually get from businesses for my time, not from private individuals. And also, I sometimes offer my time at no charge. For example, I never take payments for teaching Kendo, and I have been doing that twice a week for over 20 years. But that's an aside. What I do object to, however, is using a private tutor to gain an unfair advantage in a competition, because university admissions is a competition against the other applicants. And the purpose of admissions interviews, from my viewpoint as an admissions officer, is to select the students with the greatest aptitude and potential for studying the subject successfully. Now, if one of the candidates, by training specifically for the interview, overtakes someone else of greater raw talent, this ultimately distorts the admissions process. I don't want to admit the students who are the best at doing the interviews. I want to admit the most brilliant students. And I use the interviews as an imperfect instrument to try to find out who they are, these brilliant students. So the special training for interviews is annoying to me because it distorts my measuring instrument. Of course, it is impossible to prevent candidates from training for interviews. It would be easier to oblige everyone to seek such training than to prevent everyone from getting it. But neither option is feasible in practice, obviously. So the conclusion is that if my correspondent is willing to pay a private mentor £300 an hour, then this clearly introduces a wealth-based discrimination that I, as an admissions officer, would consider unfair and inappropriate. And I don't want rich people to take places from poorer people who were more brilliant but could not afford the interview preparation sessions. So, if hypothetically you wanted me to give you private tuition in computer science or in any of my other specialisms, and you are willing to pay the hourly rate I charge to my commercial clients, then let's discuss by all means, even though it's not what I usually do. And I assure you would get excellent service and you'd get your money's worth. But training you just to succeed at interview, well, sorry, I don't support this practice as a matter of principle, and that's not a line of business I'm willing to engage in. Now, you viewer of this channel, what do you think of my stance? Do you think I'm wrong? Make your point in the comments and say gingerbread man to let me know you were here till the end, which always brings a smile to my face. Like the video if you got value out of it, And I think if you like this one, you will be interested in this other related one over here. See you in the next video.